News that DEC is scrapping RO support for large-scale solar farms has sent ripples of worry throughout the PV sector. We spoke to several members of the industry to find out their reaction and what the near future has in store for large-scale solar in the UK.
Tuesday was basically a bit of a disastrous day for the large-scale solar sector. A bit of a bombshell. I think people have now gone to ground to figure out how they can make their businesses work. But there are some very, very major issues which have cropped up in terms of grace periods. I think people were expecting a lot more with that. It seems to us there could easily be 2 to 3 gigawatts of stranded assets out there who aren't going to be able to find a home in 2015, 2016, 2017. And that's one of the things we've really got to push back very, very firmly with government, because you cannot just pull the rug without giving any form of notification. Yes, they've continually talked about this being a budgetary related issue, but I think we're all aware that the budget may be the problem if the levy control framework is 10% overspent. But ultimately this is a politically driven move because solar is the easy scapegoat. Solar is being used as the balancing tool to get the budgets to work for the levy control framework, and that is just unacceptable for our industry.
What came out last Tuesday was a very hard announcement made by government. And it was also very hard to see the way it was made without the lack of proper consultation from all the trade associations. But secondly, also by singling out only a single technology. Under the CfD, the government is planning to compete all established technologies. So therefore, being logical, this announcement should not have been made only for solar, but basically for all of those established technologies.
What Westminster's effectively done is tilt the playing field so that you cannot choose to have a large solar development. You can have a large wind, you can have a large AD or biomass plant, but it's going to be much harder now to have solar. So I don't see the case for doing this.
The industry is obviously very concerned. Our colleagues at the SCA have been working hard with DEC to engage on the issues and have been working in a very transparent way to give them the latest picture of what's happening in solar deployment. So I think everyone was fairly surprised at what they actually came out with. Obviously, they have concerns about the speed of deployment, which is which could be fairly unique to faster deploying technologies like solar. But if you have a consistent, clear policy in place, then that should be designed to address that without these knee-jerk responses, which will have unintended consequences for the industry as a whole.
It's sort of extraordinary to find ourselves in this situation again. It's difficult to understand the basis for it. You know, we assessed that in terms of how much of the budget it was taking under the RO, it was 5%. It's very hard to see how the second cheapest technology taking 5% of the budget could really be a problem.
I think it's okay to accept that that according to the levy control framework, it's being over-deployed. I think the problem is the solar budget was never big enough and it needs to be bigger. We need to be allocated a higher portion of that budget. We are on a rather rapid cost reduction path. You know, we think we could be at zero subsidy by the end of 2021 on large scale solar. Now that is a real target for government to go for, but we've got to be given the assurance that we're going to be given the budget and the deployment levels to make it worthwhile people investing in the UK. That is absolutely key. That's what's at stake here.
It's been a perennial frustration of ours that DEC doesn't seem to have been able to keep an accurate tab on, you know, what deployment is across the solar industry. And, you know, I think as part of that insecurity they've come after the industry. Again, it's not justified.
I don't know what more we need to be doing. This is so frustrating. You know, this is a real triple whammy event going on. Cut off large scale, don't allow the opportunity on the commercial rooftop. Where are people going to go? So both of them need to be fixed. And a lot more focus needs to work on the commercial rooftop side, because that is a very good potential sector. But it's the non-financial barriers which we've still got to address, and they've got to be addressed now.